Tonight, the deck's infrastructure is out of date and in need of some major funding. We'll take you inside for a closer look at what needs to be done.
Plus, why Duluth's school board is pushing for a winter break extension this holiday season.
And Lake Superior is known to be pretty cold, but experts say it's warming up fast, and that is raising concerns.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Briggs LaSavage. Thanks for joining us. A Duluth Events Center is one organization that could stand to benefit from Minnesota's recently announced budget surplus.
We first reported on the deck's need for $8 million in repairs last night. That's according to the convention center's latest estimates they presented to the Duluth City Council.
And today, the deck's executive director gave us a first-hand look at what exactly needs to be done and how they hope to pay for it all. CBS 3's Quinn Gorham joins us live from outside the convention center. Quinn, what were you able to see today?
Well, Briggs, Kristen, the building behind me is the Deck Arena and Symphony Hall, both of which were built more than 55 years ago, not more than. But the building behind me, they've known the issues in the deck have existed over the last several years, but an ammonia leak at the deck back in July prompted them to do an in-depth investigation as to what problems exist within its walls. Executive Director Dan Hartman says after the incident, they hired an outside inspector to assess the rest of the building. They found these rusty pipes and old airway systems left over from when the deck was built all the way back in 1966. The building still uses those systems on a regular basis, and they found $8 million worth of repairs and upgrades that needed to be made. With not nearly enough money in revenue to pay for those upgrades, Hartman says they're hoping to seek funding from state bonding dollars. Since the convention center operates as an emergency shelter for much of the Northland, Hartman says they wanted to get repairs done sooner rather than later.
I know this doesn't fit into the nice timeline of the state for bonding, but we really would like to be in this year's bonding bill. And a lot of the legislators we've talked to so far have been very supportive because they understand this is kind of a dire need for some of this stuff.
As we reported last night, that $8 million in needed repairs is also concerning because the convention center only has $2 million in reserve money and expects to make roughly $780,000 in revenue next year. Without the money, Hartman says the deck doesn't have a solid timeline for making those fixes. Now, if you're wondering whether or not the deck is safe to operate right now, Hartman compared it to an old car. The operating systems are old, but they're still very much safe to use. He says the money would just help the deck operate more efficiently.
All right, thank you, Quinn. Coming up tonight at 10, we'll tour the back rooms of the deck to see just how aged and outdated some of their systems are.
New at 6, the Duluth School Board voted to extend winter break at a special meeting tonight. Last week, Superintendent John Megas proposed the schedule change, citing COVID precautions, staffing shortages, and students' mental health as the main reasons behind the decision. The school board approved that recommendation within the last half hour. The added days are Wednesday, December 22nd and Monday, January 3rd. The school district is planning to offer COVID testing on Monday, January 3rd for staff and students returning from winter break.
The Superior City Council is expected to fill an empty seat at their meeting tonight. In November, 8th District Councilor Craig Sutherland stepped down from the council, citing family and health issues. Sutherland's term does not expire until April 2023, so the council will hold a special election in April to fill his seat. Until then, the council will appoint an interim councilor to fill that seat. We'll let you know who they choose tonight at 10.
Law enforcement is asking for the public's help finding a man missing since late last month. The St. Louis County Sheriff's Office received a report yesterday of a missing Grand Lake Township man. 60-year-old William Terry has not been seen since November 27th. Deputies searched his home and property today, and crews conducted an extensive search in the area around Mungershaw Road, where Terry lives. They didn't find him. He's white, 6 foot 1 inches tall, 205 pounds, with shoulder-length brown hair and a beard. If you know where he is, you're asked to call 911.
New at 6, Minneapolis police are searching for a missing woman who said she planned to travel to Bayfield but never arrived. Christine Beason was last in touch with her family on December 1st. According to Minneapolis police, the 42-year-old intended to head to Bayfield for a visit, but police say she never arrived. It's unclear what the purpose of that trip was. She was last seen driving a white Volkswagen convertible with Minnesota license plate. But authorities did not say where she was at that time. Anyone with information should call 911.
Meteorologist Peter Kavakowskis joins us now for a quick check of the weather. Peter, Quinn looked pretty cold out there. We should note, though, he's a California native.
Yeah.
First
but
winter in Minnesota.
Abby had a live shot last night. That was probably
Much
definitely colder, but still rather cold out there across the region. But the good news is we definitely warmed up for where we were last night. And last night's lows were rather cold as well. Most of us falling back into the sub-zero single digits as well as teens. Last night's low in Hibbing was 19 below zero, 7 below on top of the hill at Duluth International, 5 below in Superior, 13 below in Ely, and 11 below in Mercer. But the highs today, we definitely were able to make up some ground and get closer to average. Average for this time of year is 27 degrees. We're anywhere close, but we were still in the single digits and teens above zero. And currently for us here in Duluth, we are sitting at 6 degrees above zero with that west wind in place between 5 and 10 miles per hour. Temperatures across the region right now, all of us are above zero, so there is some good news there. And we're gradually continuing the warm-up trend throughout the week. We'll have a closer look at that forecast here in just a bit. Guys?
All right, thank you, Peter. Minnesota state leaders gave an updated budget forecast today, revealing a projected surplus of more than $7.7 billion.
CBS3's Natalie Grant has been following this record-breaking announcement today to learn what is behind the major growth.
Kristen Briggs, state leaders are calling this $7.7 billion surplus historic and the best Minnesota has seen as a state. Now, in today's update, officials credited a strong growth in income, consumer spending, and corporate profits for the extraordinary revenue growth. This surplus is a drastic change from the last budget update almost 1 year ago. That is when an anticipated $1.3 billion pandemic deficit swung to a $1.6 billion surplus because of the improving economy. When it comes to what to do with this huge surplus, Republicans and Democrats are at odds. Republicans are calling for corporate tax cuts to combat rising costs and inflation. Meanwhile, Democrats see this as an opportunity to invest in things like Social Security, education, and affordable health care. Governor Tim Walz sees this as a win for the state of Minnesota as it continues to recover from the economic damage caused by the pandemic.
So we're going to be very clear and very focused. We're going to lower costs for Minnesotans in permanent ways on the things that impact their lives. We're going to make sure we're investing in the middle class and working families because they're the ones that made the economy strong in the first place. And we're going to lend a hand to those who haven't recovered, who were disproportionately hit by COVID.
Now, this projected growth will also be used to fully replenish the state's rainy day fund, which was drained back in 2010 and used for other emergencies over the course of the pandemic. Now, it is important to note that there are a number of risks still with this projection. State economists say that these numbers are dependent on things like inflation and supply chain issues leveling out over the next 2 years and the pandemic starting to subside as well.
Thank you, Natalie. And with this surplus now in the hands of state lawmakers, Northland leaders are speaking out about how to spend it. Representative Jennifer Schultz is a Democrat for Duluth's District 7A. She says the news is encouraging and the legislature should focus on helping working Minnesotans and those experiencing hardship, not handouts to the wealthy and large corporations.
Meanwhile, Republican State Senator Justin Eichhorn represents District 5 near Grand Rapids. He said this budget surplus shows our government is taking too much money from Minnesotans' pockets, and we need to give taxpayers their money back.
The number of people in Minnesota intensive care units has reached the highest level yet during the pandemic. The state is reporting a 98% occupancy rate in adult ICU beds. That includes both COVID and non-COVID patients. Among the more than 300 COVID patients at M Health Fairview hospitals, 72% are unvaccinated. The Delta variant is the dominant strain in Minnesota right now. The state is also reporting the highest rate of new infections in the U.S. over the past 7 days. That's according to data from the CDC.
Hawaii is a long way from Duluth.
Yes, but Northlanders didn't let the below zero temperatures keep them from honoring the 80th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Nearly 50 people braved the cold outside the deck for the VFW's annual ceremony today. It marks America's entry into World War II on December 7th, 1941. Judge Dale Harris, a Navy veteran himself, was the keynote speaker at today's gathering. After a rifle salute, a wreath was placed into the bay to honor the service people who were killed at the Hawaiian military base and those who served. It's estimated that only a few dozen of those heroes are left. Our meteorologist Dave Anderson was at today's event to represent the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, it might not feel like it, but Lake Superior is warming rapidly, and it has experts concerned. We'll tell you why next.
And our temperatures are definitely on the increase. Today we are in the teens, tomorrow at the 20s, and by Thursday and Friday, the 30s. We'll have a closer look at just how long that trend sticks around here in just a bit.
Preparing for a change? Whether you're downsizing to simplify or find yourself with an empty nest, visit yournorthlandhome.com. View comprehensive information that will help you find your new home with JS Realty, with guides such as questions to ask yourself before downsizing. Yournorthlandhome.com has all the information you need to find a place that feels like home. Download your free guide today at yournorthlandhome.com.
One of our biggest sales of the year ends soon. The Thanksgiving sale at Slumberland Furniture. Get huge savings on our already low prices, up to 50% off. Plus, see what's new, what's in stock, and save 25% on our great accessories. Give your home that special touch. Huge store-wide savings at the Thanksgiving sale at Slumberland Furniture. Hurry and soon. And for better sleep, come to Slumberland Sleep Solutions and see how easy it is now to shop for a mattress.
Calling all ice anglers and winter sports enthusiasts.
The Arrowhead Ice Fishing and Winter Show presented by Eskimo returns December 10th through 12th.
Join us for the biggest sale of the year.
Save big with special show-only pricing.
And take home cash and carry items to get ready for winter fun.
Experience the thrills of Sea Lion Splash.
Fish at the frozen basin for prizes.
And attend panel discussions at the Icebox.
Join the family fun.
This weekend only.
At the deck in Duluth.
$5 event parking.
Details at arrowheadiceshow.com.
Hi, Russell Nicolay, Nicolay Law Office. If you've been seriously injured, we can help. For the last 14 years, my office has been helping folks like you and holding insurance companies accountable. My award-winning legal team can help you and your family. Remember, if you've been injured, get Nicolay. We win or you don't pay.
This year, Santa's got his naughty, nice, and now his shop local list. With a unique variety of shops and restaurants, there's something for everyone at Fichters. And for business or leisure, Fichters Inn is Duluth's premier lakefront getaway. Fichters. Shop, eat, sleep.
Okay, first order of business. It's a high-profile case.
We're here because we're still investigating.
Sounds like a scoop somebody might kill for. We got him.
Felt good, didn't it?
The FBI's Watch Anytime on Demand and streaming on Paramount Plus. New episodes tonight starting at 8/7 Central.
Get your news on the go. The CBS3 mobile app. CBS3 Sports is brought to you by St. Luke's. And now your WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Peter Kevitkauskas.
12 degrees was today's high at Duluth International, still definitely well below average. 27 is the average high for this time of year. So we still got a ways to go, but we're making progress and we were slowly beginning to warm things up across the region. Currently for us here in Duluth, we are sitting in the single digits with those mostly clear skies overhead and that west wind in place between 5 and 10 miles per hour. That is keeping us cooler, though, right now. Most of us are talking about actual air temperatures, though, in the single digits as well as teens above zero. Last night at this time, we were talking about temperatures that were a good 10 to 15 degrees cooler than where they are right now. So we're definitely making progress. but it's still cold out there, and it will still be cold for the night tonight. Most of us for the night tonight looking at temperatures falling back into the single digits, both above and below zero, with partly to mostly cloudy skies overhead. As we head towards Wednesday, though, we generally begin to see the partly to mostly sunny skies prevail once again, and temperatures climbing again, teens as well as lower 20s tomorrow. And as we head towards Thursday, we begin to see them climb even faster. And that's the reason for that is because of those clouds prevailing for the part of the night tomorrow night. And that really helps to keep us warmer. Temperatures only falling back into the teens as well as lower 20s for the night, Wednesday night into Thursday. And then as we head towards Thursday, we see a little bit of snow, but then we also see the temperatures begin to creep back up close to average. Once again, average for this time of year, like I mentioned before, mid and upper 20s. So we're going to see that, and we're going to probably surpass it by a few degrees as most towns climb into the upper 20s as well as lower 30s. And the nice weather sticks around for today on Wednesday and into Thursday as well. That shot of snow best served for probably Arrowhead region as well as northwest Wisconsin and the South Shore towards the UP of Michigan there. Looks like it could produce an additional 1 to 2 inches of snow, something that we'll keep an eye on through the rest of the night tonight as well as the first part of the day tomorrow. So stay with CBS3. Both on air and online, we'll have the latest about that snowmaker for northwest Wisconsin as well as the rest of the Northland. Forecast for tonight, still a cold one, but not as many places going below zero. Only see 2 below in Hibbing as well as 2 below in Grand Marais, with partly to mostly cloudy skies overhead. And tomorrow we warm things back up into the upper teens as well as lower 20s. So still a good 5 to 10 degrees below average, but we're slowly beginning to make progress. And here's how that 7-day forecast shapes up. By Thursday, we're in the 30s. By Friday, it's upper 20s again. And we see a little bit of a cool down as we head towards Saturday. Warm things back up towards Sunday, but then take a look at next Monday and Tuesday. You begin to see temperatures approach the 40-degree mark, so negative 20 to 40 in the span of 7 days there. That's the art of northern Minnesota, I guess.
Yeah, the roller coaster we all have come to love, and one of the only roller coasters I'll stay on.
Yeah, something for everybody.
That's for sure.
All right, thank you, Peter. As Northlanders are enduring a bitter cold snap, Lake Superior is turning up the temp.
For years, experts say the Great Lakes have been getting warmer, and that could lead to trouble in the future.
CBS3's Abigail Smith explains what kind of impact warmer water temperatures could have on the Northland.
As many of the 10,000 lakes across Minnesota begin to freeze up, Lake Superior is taking its time. Though the big lake typically takes longer to freeze due to its sheer size, research also points to a global rise in air temperatures, causing an increase in water temperatures throughout the Great Lakes.
The impacts can be quite dramatic and wide-ranging, even though the temperature differences are very small.
Research shows the Great Lakes have increased by 0.1 degrees Celsius every year for the past decade. UN Revy with the Natural Resources Research Institute in Duluth says warmer lake temps can create a more habitable environment for invasive species like zebra mussels, which can threaten ecosystems in the lakes.
Eventually, you would think that's probably going to affect biology, and that's the point where people truly start to care about the situation.
Revy says invasive species can change small biological creatures like algae and small invertebrates in lakes. She worries warmer water temperatures will allow for more invasive species populations to grow and take over.
In this case, changing in the physical environment due to warming is very likely to change the habitat in the Great Lakes.
NRRI researchers add that water temperatures in Lake Superior are rising 3 times faster than any other Great Lake, becoming a dire situation for the community.
Climate is changing faster here in this part of the United States than almost anywhere else. We're in the middle of the continent and north.
Experts encourage those living along coastline communities to be proactive in combating climate change to avoid creating irreversible damage that will reach beyond the shores.
Though the Great Lakes have been increasing in temperature, it's important to note that they are still very cold during the winter months. According to the National Weather Service, lake water temperatures ranging from 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit is deemed deadly to swim in. Currently, Lake Superior is around 40 to 45 degrees. For more information on the NRRI, you can visit our website.
Duncan joins us now for a look at what's going on in sports today.
Yeah, sadly, we're still talking about the Vikings. They were
got to forget about that winless Sunday against the Detroit Lions, who picked up their first win. While in the hardwood, the local college team continues to climb their way up the rankings.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat. CBS3 Live Cams, brought to you by KohlerChef.com, now featuring the Kohler Express Deal online buying solution. KohlerChef.com, a better way to buy.
Injured? Call Stockman Law Office. Automobile collision injuries involving taxis, Ubers, Lyfts, buses, semis, and motorcycles. Call anytime, 218-576-8599. No recovery, no fee. Stockman Law Office. Serious injuries, serious law.
It's only paint. It's only paint that comes in an award-winning twist and pour container. It's only paint that can cover the brightest shade of orange known to mankind in just one coat. It's only paint that will inspire you to write your masterpiece. It's only paint that will help you become TV's hottest writer, where one day you'll meet this guy who starred in that thing. So yeah, it's only paint. Only easy opening, smooth pouring, change your life both professionally and romantically. Paint.
I'm Dr. Dustin Lucarelli, a general surgeon at St. Luke's. We oftentimes are the ones that are called to deal with appendicitis, cholecystitis, hernias, and even cancers. I chose to practice at St. Luke's because it gives me the opportunity to work with some of the newest advancements and technologies. I really enjoy working with the Da Vinci robot and doing minimally invasive surgery. So being a general surgeon allows me the capability to work with my hands and work with patients. And it's something I truly enjoy.
Whatever your water worry, Culligan Water can help. From value-priced softeners to the world's best and even salt-free, no one has more solutions than Culligan to customize the best filtration for your home. The only water that comes with a van. Contact Culligan, the local water experts.
You can have a great time out at Fond Duluth and get paid for it. From frontline customer service to something more technical, your new career could be right in downtown Duluth. Stop in during business hours or go to our website to find job listings and apply.
Reliable starts here at Interstate Battery in Superior, Wisconsin. Shop our wide variety of car, AAA, phone, key, and sealed lead-acid batteries. Find the right battery right away with the help of our expert staff. Visit us today at 426 John Avenue in Superior.
Ring in 2022 with the biggest cash bash of the year. New Year's Eve hot seats and drawings at Black Bear Casino Resort. On New Year's Eve from 5 p.m. until 2 a.m. New Year's morning, 2 hot seat players each hour will win up to $1,000 cash. And 5 drawings each hour will start the new year off right for the lucky winners with up to $10,000 cash. That's 70 winners for a grand total of over $75,000 cash. Earn entry starting December 26th. Visit BlackBearCasinoResort.com for more information and make the Bear your place to ring in 2022.
Your friends at Security Jewelers love the holidays a ton. We are delighted to help our customers find something for their special one. Parents, children, a spouse, or a friend. A gift from Security Jewelers says you care without end. Some gifts are large and some gifts are small. This year, more than ever, heartfelt gifts mean the most of all. It might be a watch or a shiny new ring. Trust Security Jewelers to help you find the very best thing.
Happy holidays!
At the beginning of the season, expectation for the UMD men's basketball team, they were largely unknown. They have a young group with just 6 upperclassmen, with one being a graduate transfer. But through the first month of the season, they've written their own narrative as a very strong team. UMD is up to the 13th ranked team in the D2 SIDA poll, and they've even entered the NABC coaches poll as 22nd. They're off to a 9-0 start, the best in program history, and 7 of their first 9 wins have come by double digits. And forward Austin Andrews was named this week's NSIC North Player of the Week for the 2nd straight week. Tonight on the My9 Sports Network, we have a fun 7A matchup. 6th ranked Duluth Denfeld heads to Hibbing Memorial Arena to take on the Blue Jackets. Puck drop for that one, 7 o'clock. And to the football field for the Minnesota Vikings, who look to bounce back from their loss to the Detroit Lions with a win over the Pittsburgh Steelers on Thursday night. And man, that loss against the Lions, it was truly ugly, allowing Detroit to pick up their first victory of the year. But the Vikings and the Steelers both have one thing in common. They're the only 2 teams the Lions haven't lost to this year, with Detroit picking up their tie against the Steelers. So in order to get back on track, the Vikings need to forget about Sunday's showing and pick up a much-needed win at U.S. Bank to get back into that playoff picture.
All year long, it's been, last play of the game, here, there, win, lose, whatever. But, I don't see any difference in their attitude or the way they go about, the meetings and practice and things like that. They come out here and walkthroughs and, they focus pretty good.
It's time to go bring the pain to somebody else. Just show our frustration off of last game, us not getting that win and us not playing as good the first half. So just coming off of that, just trying to get a win and bouncing back.
Anthony Barr was not able to take the field on Sunday for the Vikings, but today the longtime Viking was honored as the Vikings Community Man of the Year and was also announced as a Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee. The 29-year-old linebacker has spent his time tackling poverty through his Raise the Bar Foundation, which helps support single-parent students with scholarships and grants that allow them to focus on their studies.
Yeah, it's a big honor. Obviously, community work has been a big part of my life for a long time. Raise the Bar Foundation kind of built on the story of my mother and myself. She's a huge inspiration to me in my life, and we're looking to pass it forward to the next and future generations. So humbled and honored, and looking forward to continuing the good work that we do.
Barr is expected to play on Thursday. And the Packers Man of the Year nominee is running back Aaron Jones. Both his parents were in the Army, and Jones has been very involved with the Salute to Service projects, visiting service members at hospitals on military bases, and is also involved with charities and programs for the Boys and Girls Club in both Green Bay and Milwaukee. It's nice to see athletes doing good things in the community.
Yeah, it's been so fun, too, to see the My Cause, My Cleats.
Yes.
I love the designs, and you got to love the stories, too, behind the designs.
Adam Thielen's are always the best. He always has great ones.
I seem to remember a really cool Christmas Grinch-themed one he had a couple years ago, so we'll see what he does in a couple weeks.
And soon.
Thanks, Duncan.
Tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, 80 years ago today, the Japanese army attacked Pearl Harbor, provoking the United States out of neutrality and thrusting the country into war. But the U.S. war machine had not been well oiled due to neutrality acts of the 1930s. Tonight, we'll step back in time to learn how the Iron Range and Duluth answered when the government came to call.
Peter, another good night to bundle up if you're heading out.
Yeah, I think we have to bundle up in this studio, too. It's
cold
cold
it is chilly in here.
But not quite as cold as it is outside for the night tonight. Most of us falling back into the single digits, both above and below zero. But highs for tomorrow making it back into the teens and even some lower 20s as we head through the next 7 days. We're slowly beginning to warm things back up into the 30s, and by next week, possibly approaching the 40-degree mark. So much warmer air than the 20 below we saw just last night.
40 is going to feel like summertime temperatures.
It definitely will.
Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you back here at 10.